Download the BCSN Plus app today.
It's a little Walleye back at home this week as we welcome in the voice of the Walleye, voice of the Mud Hens, Matt Melzak. Matt, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it, Mark, as always.
Let's begin with the Fish. Up 2-0 in the best-of-7 Western Conference Finals. And throughout this Kelly Cup playoff, whether you want to talk about will, maturity, resiliency, the mental fortitude of this team has been amazing. And we saw that on display Saturday night when they twice gave up leads, let Kansas City tie the game, and then came back to win.
Yeah, and they struggled with the special teams a little bit there. Didn't score on the power play, gave up a couple of power play goals and did tie that game. You know what? They did. They persevered through a game where they were playing better than Kansas City, but yet Kansas City was hanging around. They did the job that they needed to do, and that's a team that has been through this. They've gone through these things, and they're capable of handling the situation that comes in front of them, and that is maturity. I think that was the word that Pat Mickus used following the game. He said it was a mature effort today, and it certainly looked like it. That was two business-like games that Toledo went through where they had to rely a little bit on that maturity to come through in game two, but they were very business-like in game one and just took care of business and won the games, and now they've got themselves in a great spot coming home for 3 straight.
I also want to talk about Colby Ambrosio. He had the game-winning goal Saturday night. 10 playoff points for a kid who, beginning of the season, was in college playing for the Miami Redhawks.
Yeah, he had a great season there, but he's also played at some big-time hockey when you think about Boston College the years prior to that before going to Miami of Ohio. So he's a guy who's been in some big-time games, and he showcased himself. He can really shoot it, and I think you look at him, he comes in as a playmaker. He fit right in with Sam Craggs and Brandon Cruz, but he can finish as well. That goal he had on Saturday night, that one-timer from the top of the left circle, was an absolute thing of beauty. It was a missile in the top corner of the net. You're getting some great production out of guys that have come in late because they've helped out in key situations.
So Walleye home this week. Game 3 will be tomorrow, Tuesday. Game 4 will be Thursday. If there's a Game 5, it will be Saturday. We might not need a Game 5, but we also know the Mud Hens will be home all week long. Mud Hens team that continues to win baseball games. When we talked last week, we said if they can take 3 of 6 from Scranton-Wilkes-Barre, they'd have a great series. They took 4 of 6.
Yeah, they took 4 of 6, and they did it by hitting the cover off the baseball. They had 300 for the week. Mark, I mean, they were blasting the baseball all over the yard. That was a Scranton team that came in a couple games over 500 before Toledo took them apart this week. They did a great job. They had a 20-run game mixed in there. They also won a game 7-0. They scored a boatload of runs on Sunday. Now they got a little bit of help late, the 10-8 win where Scranton ran out of pitching. But that happens because of the fact that Toledo was hitting it so well all week. They had to keep running through pitching. So you beat up that pitching all week long, and then you get into a game like Sunday. Now here we are in the 9th inning, got a position player in. Mud Hens scored a couple of runs, and they had just enough pitching to get by on their side. So, yeah, they're 17-7, Mark, in their last 24 games. That's as good as anyone in the International League. So they are playing some good baseball right now with 2 straight weeks at home.
Yeah, that series in Indianapolis, kind of the low point of this Mud Hens season. They've been a much better team, a much different team ever since then. And, of course, all those Mud Hens games this week and next week when Louisville comes to town. See all those games on BCSN, plus the Walleye games are on BCSN as well. So we got you covered downtown for the next 2 weeks.
Mark, I'll be at one of them the next couple of days. We'll figure it out as we go.